Hi, so I'll go over taking an existing DCP and adding some closed captions to it from an SRT file. And the way we'd usually do this is that we'd take the original DCP, which has presumably just picture and sound in it. We'd call this the original version, or the OV DCP. And then we'd make a second DCP, which we call the version file, or the VF. And the VF DCP, the second one, refers to the first one and says we're going to play the picture and sound from the first one, but we're going to add on some more stuff. And in this case, we're going to add on some closed captions. And the reason it's done like this, mostly, I think, is that if you do it this way, you can have an OV which is big and has picture and sound, but is the same for everybody. And then you can make multiple VFs if you want to for different languages. And then the VF can be very small because it only contains the text for the closed captions. And you don't have to mess about distributing enormous DCPs that are slightly different for everybody. You can just give everybody their own version file. The other advantage is that it's the only way really to give the projectionist in the cinema the choice of whether to play the captions or not. It's less important for closed captions, I suppose, because the audience can't see them without some sort of display device. But if you're talking about subtitles, the advantage with the VF is that the projectionist can choose to show either the OV with no subtitles or the VF, which will add the subtitles in. And that's the only way you can turn subtitles on and off. There isn't like a switch usually to do that. So to do this kind of thing, we need just the main DCP-O-Matic tool. And you'll need to make a new project, put the VF project in, the VF project files in. So I'll make a new project, and I'm using a little clip from a film called Arrietty. So I'll just make a VF project called Arrietty VF. So here we have an empty project now with nothing in it. And the first thing we probably do is to add the original DCP in. So I've got one that I, as the saying goes, made earlier. So here's a DCP that I made before. And if we look at it, it's got a picture and it's got some sound. So that's all good. So this is the OV. This is the big DCP that contains the picture and the sound. We want to add on some closed captions to it. So then I just need to go to add files and add in my SRT file with my closed captions inside it. And then by default, DCP-O-Matic will assume that you want to use this SRT as subtitles, so open subtitles, that is, on the screen that everybody can see. And if you want to use closed captions and make them into closed captions instead, you just need to go into so we've got the SRT file highlighted up here. We can go to the time text tab and just choose closed captions from this list. And then the slightly tricky part with closed captions is they have to have this concept called a track, because you can actually have more than one closed caption track in a DCP, and then the end user, like the person in the cinema, can choose usually which one they want to watch. I don't know how often this is used, but it's a thing. So normally what you do is to create a new track for your closed captions, and you just need to give it a name. So I'll say these are English CC, and you need to give it a language to say what language the closed captions are in. So I'll just choose English from this list, but obviously there's lots here you can choose from. Then click OK, and what should now happen is that this SRT file is being used as closed captions. So if I go to the closed caption viewer, you see that I'm looking at track the English CC track that I just made, and here is the, I've even spelled subtitle wrong there, that's good. This is the thing that the closed caption user will see. If you need to offset the closed captions against the original, so if there's some sort of you need to have some sort of delay because there's an extra bit on the front of the DCP or whatever, you can always do that in a timing tab. So timing changes the relative timing of what you've got selected. So if I wanted to move these closed captions 10 seconds later, I could just put 10 in here and click set, and then that'll move them all on 10 seconds further later. So they happen later. And you can look in a timeline and see that. So here I've got, this is what's on in my whole project now. I've got the original video from the OV. I've got the original audio from the OV, and I've got these captions, which are a bit starting 10 seconds after the OV does. So this is going well. This is going fine so far. The last bit we need to do is to make sure that the project is set up to make a VF. So as it stands, if you clicked make DCP now, what you would get would be a brand new big DCP that contained a copy of the sound, a copy of the picture, and these closed captions. But which is an option. You can do it that way if you want to, and then you can just send the whole DCP to whoever you're sending it to, and they will get the closed captions. And that might be easier because it's one DCP instead of two. Might be less confusing, but it's an option. But if you want to make a VF, you just need to tell this project that you don't want to copy the picture and sound. Instead, you want to refer to the original. And the way to do that is slightly fiddly. First, you need to go into the Reels dialog here for reasons that it's probably not worth explaining at this point. But if you set this to split by video content, that will help. And then you just need to go into the tools version file box and click on. So here we have a list of the things that we could refer to. So instead of having them in our VF DCP, we're just going to say, don't actually have them, just refer to the OV. So I can refer to the picture and the sound, click OK, and then this project should then be ready to go. So we've now set it up so that the this project will make a DCP, which is a VF containing just the closed captions, and it will refer to the OV. So then when the projectionist wants to play your version with closed captions, they have to ingest, i.e. copy both the OV and the VF, and then play the VF. And that will mean that what they will see and what they will see on the closed caption reader will be the right thing. So now we can just go to make DCP here. Don't even know where that is. Probably should. There's some hints here which you can read at your leisure, but not important for this demo, I think. And obviously it will depend on, the hints will depend on what's in your OV. So that went quickly because it knows it didn't have to do very much work. So if we go to the project, well, the project is on the drive. Let me find it. So in here we've got this Arietti VF, and here is our VF DCP. And if we look inside, we see that the only things in here are the normal asset map, the normal volume index, but the only big MXF data file is this one, which it contains the closed captions. And so this DCP is very small, and it refers to the stuff from the other one. So if you then send both the original DCP and this one to the projectionist, they should be able to play your closed captions. Cheers.